Well, trying to get ready to do all of this, I just wanted to show you, I've kind of gone through, let's see, I took one of these sheets completely apart. Now these are the old pop-outs. They don't really do these very much anymore. They I don't know, I guess they still do, but I don't buy them. So, but what I did with those is, now see, I'll show you with this one. Let me get it up close here. Can you see the little notches that it leaves when it pops it off of the paper? So I go and I cut all those off, and then I take and I put a little bit of this action on them to get them, you know, just really flat, and then I ink them. And so let me show you. I'll go ahead and get this one done. And it's very tedious, but if I don't do them, I won't use them because I can't stand those. Because then everybody that looks at them absolutely knows that, you know, you didn't stamp it and put it on a piece of paper and cut out the little, you know, this, like this little banner piece here. Okay, so I do that. Then I take a file and I file until I feel like I've got it down. Okay, and then I take and I try and just run it along the edge, because I'm not trying to really give it on this to give it an you know, like a distressed edge. It still gives it a black. It finishes it around. Now let me show you the finished product. That looks much nicer, but it's a lot of work. So just letting you know, I've done that with all of these. The chipboard, I go around with a black marker. Here's one I haven't done yet. This is what it looks like before you put the black marker on it. Oops. So it doesn't really change much. Puts a little bit of, you can see a little black edge. Oops. But you just don't want to see the cardboardy parts. Get it, you know, just that chipboard part. Now what I'm going to be doing though is I'm going to be, you see this, I'm going to be sticking my finger in between the chipboard and the picture part and thinning it down tremendously. Okay, so that part is toss away. This part, still the number, but it's way thinner. Okay, so now let's see if I can find one that's about the same. So now you can see how much thinner it is. This is going to sit on your paper much nicer than this is. This is going to take up way too much room, especially if you put multiple layers or something on. Okay, however, I'm not going to do that to the number until I use it, because I may end up not using it, and then I may get to the point where I want something that's thick. So we'll just see. But I wanted to show you all of that. Now, I kind of got started, and then everybody's like, no, we want to go through the whole process with you. I'm like, okay. I mean, that's fine with me. Especially for the one gal that said she thought she had this paper line. So then that'll be a lot of fun for her. Now, if you're going to go through this process with me, now maybe not after the fact, because, I mean, you know, if this is like a year-old film, a year-old video, I probably won't go back and work it with you. But if you tell me what paper line you're using, it'll just give me an idea. I mean, I might not speak to it directly, especially if I don't have the paper line or if I don't know it well. But I tend to keep up on the paper lines that come through, so then I know which ones I want to buy. Now this was another pop out from the paper, and I just finished. You know, usually while I'm sitting in front of a TV, I cut those little dots, those little, whatever you call those, the remainder of those little doodads. They're a bane of my existence. But I guess if this is the worst thing that happens to you in a day, it's a pretty good day. But yeah, if you tell me what paper line you're using, I don't know, I can just kind of keep it in mind. And if you're not doing Christmas, I can, you know, maybe mention something that might work, that might be interesting or something, if I know what you're doing. Okay. Now these larger ones, I don't worry so much about this unless it still kind of shows up after I'm... And I wouldn't suggest doing this, because then that makes your paper really soft. If you just kind of get it right where it's needed. Because if you get this paper too soft, when you do this, you're really going to have, it's going to soak in, because that's going to be like raw, pulped up paper, and it's just going to go, and then you're going to have a larger black area. So, I think this has got a little dot over here. Okay, and we're just going to run that along there. There we go, just cover the white edges. Okay, so what I do is I laid my 12 by 12 piece of paper down, and I lined it up here, and I made a mark where I wanted to cut it, and then I came back and I lined it up here and I made a line where I cut it, and actually, oh, hold on. Okay, so what I was saying, and I'm sorry, I've been gone for several hours, so I'm not exactly sure where I was on the video. But what I was saying was, when you have your 12 by 12 sheet of paper, and let me see where the other part of this is. Here it is. Okay, so I want you to think about how you're going to use your paper. So like I said, I had made notches, made a mark here and a mark here where I wanted it to be cut at. But I cut across here first so that I know this page, well, this page, because it's here, is going to need to be a little smaller to be on these papers, but I know at least it's large enough. When I'm cutting a piece from this, like I cut this for here. Well, I don't actually remember if I'm using this side or this side. But you'll see all of them from now on. But then this is the rest of the cut. And then this piece. So I made my mark. I wanted to cut here and I wanted to cut here. Okay? So I cut it long ways. So now this will fit on any page that I want it to go on. Any one of these, it's going to fit this way. And then I just have to cut it down this way. So a lot less measuring, as long as you're thinking before you cut your paper. See, and then this size is going to be perfect. I'll flip it over just so it's going to be perfect for pockets. It's going to be nice for flaps. Now you can cut this off if you like to. I tend to leave these on, and then I score right down if I'm going to make this I'm sorry, if I'm going to make this a pocket and I want to flip this under, that way I have the entire piece here instead of cutting into this a 1/2 inch. So I just put my score mark right at the edge of the actual paper line, fold this over, and I'm not wasting any of my paper. So that's why I don't pull these off. I know a lot of people do. I find them useful. And then sometimes these little pieces here, you know, they show you what's on the opposite side of the page. And, you know, if I don't end up using this strip, I do use this. I cut these and make little banners out of them or whatever, okay? So that can always come in handy. And this right here can be used. You know, now it's on every sheet, but it's got a little red Christmas music symbols and things like that. So, you know, just got to think about your papers. I don't have a ton of papers, so that's why I'm kind of really making sure I'm thinking about how I'm cutting my paper so that I get the biggest bang for my buck. Okay, so I did pre-plan, but you'll see everything else. I've gotten the message. Everybody wants to do this with me. So, and I did pull out a few goodies for. I've got this as a pocket, and this is for day 1. I want to put good times up here, but I think I'm going to put it on some black, and I have a few little strips, and I'm going to glue that down and then cut around it. I can also do the pocket in black. I'll have to remember where I put all my strips. Oh, so far I don't have any strips. That's right, because I used pretty much the entire sheets of paper. But I could get a strip and do this as well, which I think I would like. It'll just make it stand out from the page. So you look at it like this. And having that black edge will look really nice. Okay, so I'll have it all the way around. And we'll do the same thing with these little pieces. It just will make them stand out better. Now I did edge all around this number 1. And because this is on the front cover and I'm not really worried about space because there's plenty of room between that and that, I'm not going to peel this off. I'm going to leave it dimensional and put it onto my pocket. And then I've got little December memories here. And then I think I will have this, and I will probably edge it in the black as well. So that's what I'm going to do here. And then I'll show you the next one. So let me get a piece of the black. Did find a little piece. And we're just going to glue this down. They're both the same. Where? Well, I'll just use this. Oh, messy, 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 messy. I usually have a nice rag, but I don't know where I stuck it. Okay. This stuff, I find this to be so thick. And I guess it doesn't have a tip on it to make it come out small. I mean, you know, in a thinner line. Which would probably help, but it works all right. I mean, it works. It's just not one of my favorite methods of. This paper's a little crooked, so I'm just going to pull it away a little bit so I can cut around it. See, am I in? Yeah, I'm in frame. Okay. Got a little bit come over the edge there. Make sure it's good and down. And then I'm just going to take my scissors, and I'm not the best at straight cutting, but I usually don't have too much problem kind of keeping it the same distance. I was kind of looking to see how many people had done Christmas in July, and I didn't really find a huge amount. I thought it was good. That's horrible right there. Like I said, I'm not very good at this. I didn't find a huge amount of people doing Christmas in July. I was kind of shocked or surprised. I don't guess I was shocked. Oops. Okay, so there's that. And I'm not going to make you guys watch me line all of these up. I'm just going to line these 3 pieces and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I got all my pieces and parts lined with the black paper. I always have a picture. This is a picture when my boys went up at a flying show, airplane show, fly-in they called it, and my boys went up with a pilot and they got to do some stuff in the aircraft and stuff. They had a lot of fun. But anyway, I keep a photo out so that when I'm looking at something, how are they going to place a photo? Now they could cut one down and stick it in this area, because remember, we're going to have a pocket and we're going to have a little tag. Of course, the tag can be moved to any place, or they can put a picture in the back of the tag. But if they put a picture like this, then I'm going to put this good times here. Well, I'm going to tack it on the both outsides, and I'm going to leave that inner area there in case somebody wants to put a picture. Because if I don't, if I glue the whole thing down, then they're either going to have to cut their picture or move it down, which would put it inside the pocket. So, you know, you always want to kind of think about logistically, you're creating these beautiful albums. Where are they putting the pictures? And what size pictures are they going to be able to put into these things? You know, I see gorgeous pages, and then there's a little thing right in the center is a frame for the picture. Well, how would I do that? You know, I want this picture on this page. I can't do that. Now I can put this picture on this page this way. So, you know, you gotta think of how is this actually going to get used. I mean, I think they're beautiful, and some people, you know, they obviously are selling them and that kind of thing. But when you have a full page spread and you have this little thing that pulls out and there's 2 or 3 pictures there and 2 or 3 pictures there, and it sits right there. What about all this space, and why didn't you do something that would have been a little more, you know, maybe put this down here and do the same thing and allow a cut picture to be here instead of sticking it right in the center, and you just wasted that. To me, it's wasting that space. I don't know. I'm not here to that's just kind of the way I think. So let's get this glued down. Okay, I also have the Martha Stewart I'm not sure which one this is called, but it's like a snowflake thingy. I've got some black pieces of paper here from other projects, and I'm just taking a bit of this and going to put it on the pocket, and that's going to look super sweet on there. So I'm just going to actually put a line on the pocket here. I'm going to spread the glue around. There we go. And then I'm going to try and line it up. Put it this way. I'm going to try and line it up so I've got whole. Of course I put way too much. What's the name of that tune? I am going to have to go and get some of my other glue because this, I just put way too much on with this applicator. I'm not used to this applicator tip. Let's see. I'm about out of paper towels. I like the Viva paper towels. They're like cloth. And there we go. So I got that on there, pretty even. Push that down just a little bit. Still got glue oozing out. I didn't think I put that much. And if you get, just kind of use this. Just have to be careful because this got way too much glue on there. Well, then I'm going to trim off. Come on. Just, that's not very, let's just trim it right off there. Trying to make that straight. Like I told you, I am not very good. And I tell you, longer scissors, when you're trying to cut a straight line, longer scissors work way better. Now, these little bits, I don't know if you can see that, but this, let me stand up. This little bit right here, this little piece right there, I'm going to clip that off so it's not, it just finishes it out nicely. You see how that little bit's just hanging there? I'm just going to kind of trim it where it looks like it's a hole, and it just makes it look much nicer. Okay? Alright. There she blows. See, adding these different layers, different textures, this is the kind of thing that is time consuming. Just cleaning up my trash here. It's time consuming, but it just makes it look so much better. Just make it look so much better. Let's see if I can do this. If I use it for a while, I get used to it, but right now, I'm not doing so good. I'm so used to using that, what do you call that? Art glitter glue with the special little tip on it. And this stuff is just killing me. It's killing me! Okay, so let's get this on here. And one reason you do this, really smushing the glue around before it dries and things like that, is if you don't get glue really spread out, you'll get almost like these pockets, and you run your fingers along the paper and you'll have these little pockets of crinkled stuff where it didn't get glued down, and it's in between two pieces, two sections that are glued down, and that one section will just kind of have a little bubble in it. And those drive me nuts. So I work really hard at making sure I'm really getting that glue kind of almost warmed up with the hand and moved around. Okay, and now I'm just going to put this on as a straight pocket. And the fact that it's not super straight in the cut is going to be fine, because it's getting put right onto black paper, and you're not going to be able to see how not straight it is. And another thing with glue, if you go to, especially glue that you're not wanting it to spread and you've got it right on the edges because you want to keep as much space for your pocket, don't push it down real hard right at the beginning. Let the glue kind of set. And then you're going to be able to move it around a little bit and make sure it's getting good coverage, but it's not going to spread out as much as if you put it down and really push it. You're going to lose more and more of your pocket that way. And there, now we got where it's not really oozing anymore, and we're getting good coverage. Alright, now I just have a few little things here. Now if you, if your paper collection has little tidbits that you can cut out, then get them cut out before you start the process. I like to have, now this one I'm decorating as I go. I usually will get down the majority of the paper and then come back and do, and I'll get, like, if I'm having a pocket or if I'm having a flap or whatever, and then I'll come back and do extra embellishments. But this one I'm gonna, and I might end up doing more. Just gonna kind of wipe a little of that off. And remember here, I'm leaving this so the corner of the picture can go up. And I'm just going to put this up in this corner. I kind of want it on the paper. This one I went black to black. But this one I wanted to make sure it was on the paper, because it will get lost with all this other stuff. This one is I mean, that's the main. Now, do I want this here? Do I want it here? I think I want to kind of, well, yeah, I think we'll put number 1 right down here. Now this is an adhesive back. So I am going to take this off, but I don't trust the adhesive. So we're adding our own. And there we go. So there's page 1. And those are super cute. Add just the right touch onto that. Okay. So now we're going to go to, come on off of there. There. Now we're going to go to the next page. And I did cut this out. I wanted, see, how did I work this? How did I work this? I wanted this to be out here. So that's what you saw next to this page. And I think I was going to put the, like a remember here, because I need some red. See, I've got the greens covered, and the brown, I've got something here. This has got a little bit of a brown on a snowflake, but it needed red. So that's what it was pretty much crying for right here. And then I also picked out a brad that I had. And again, this is with the collection. I've really kind of gone crazy when I picked this collection out, but so I'm going to put the brad here, and then I've got a magnet that I'm going to put underneath this page, so that it'll be magnetically held down. Whoops, there goes my card. Where'd it go? Come here. There we go. And then the only other thing was, see, now I cut this out, and all I did was take my paper, make sure you can see all this. Got my paper here. Okay, so I got my big sheet, and I'm marking it. I'm saying, okay, right here is where it needs to be to cover my page nicely. But then I knew I wanted to have an 1/8 of an inch and about a 1/2 an inch, 1/8 of an inch gusset and a 1/2 an inch for the top flap. So I put that line there, knowing that, okay, that's where, instead of cutting, that's where that first score line is going to be. And I put a mark here where I wanted this to be cut. So then I cut this first. So then I had this whole sheet of paper, and I went to my scoreboard, and I scored where my line was that I put. I scored down there, and then I scored an 1/8 of an inch more, and then I made a little mark at a 1/2 an inch, and I took that to my cutter, and I cut off at that 1/2 an inch. So now I have this page that will work on any of these papers. I just have to cut it this direction, okay? And then I have this page that will make great pockets, you know, flaps, all kinds of stuff. Okay, so one thing I did on this one that I didn't mention is I using black soot on my lines. And I'm not looking for a huge, you know, when you, well, it doesn't matter. When you do it this way, you get more of a black edge. If you just line it, run it across, you get less of a black edge, and all you're doing is really getting it. You do get a little bit of schmutz on the sides. You can see it better here. So you get a little bit of schmutz on the sides versus doing it this way. I don't have much ink on here either. And that's another thing, is you don't need to be ink, 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 and do, and ink, 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 and do. If you're just doing your edges, there's a lot of ink on there that'll get those edges covered. Okay, so this is the page that I actually want to glue down onto this page, leaving my gusset unglued, and this is going to go here. Okay, but I'm going to build everything off of the page, and then when I'm done, I'll glue the part that's going on here down. Alright, so I'm going to move this out of the way. Let me get my extra black sheets out. Now I have a lot of the stickers, okay? And I was looking at these and going, you know, they're the same. If I cut them in the center, I will have two different ones. And I think that's going to help with the transition between this and this. So I thought if I ran, see, I'll do some of these different ones. Like I'll have this coming through the paper. It'll be on here. This, this. So I cut all of the absolute plain ones in half. And this and this. So I'm probably going to steer clear of the reds. And I'm going to do green, beige, green, and then this one's kind of a beige. What did I, no, let's see. What did I think I was going to need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, let's see what I've got here. I've got these sides, so if I do green, beige, if I do that, that's the same color, kind of. It's really not. Look at the difference in color. I don't know if this paper has changed colors or not, but there's really not a whole lot that's the same. I don't know. But I'll start with a dark green, then go to this kind of beigey color, then I'll do this green, and then I'll go to this color, and well, then I can do another dark green, because these don't matter. This is the only one that kind of makes a difference if it's up or down. So we'll figure that one out in just a minute. But that's I just put it on my cutter and just sliced it. And then I've got all these luscious little words. But I think also these would look super cute if they were on black paper. But then that's going to be, if I glue this down and have the black paper and the sticker, it's going to be pretty thick. So let's see, but I do have 1/8 of an inch there. But then it also, where's my picture? There it is. Is this going to be something that's going to be feasible to actually try and do a picture on? Or should I have the picture set up here and just really decorate this out? Because I have 1/8 of an inch to play with. Or you can put 2 shorter pictures in here. And this is the shortest page that we have doing this stack the deck with the twist. So, you know, this is the one where I'm just going to get to do some fun embellishing and things like that. So I think I am going to put some of these on black paper and cut them out. Maybe by the end of this video I will be better at cutting around these things. So I'm just gonna, and actually these are not going to show, so I'm just going to run it right along the edge of the black, just the way I'm going to put them, so I can let's see. This is not, would have been really super smart of me to do this on a piece that was long enough. See, if I would have done it on a piece that was long enough, then I could have just cut out right here, but it's 1/2 inch too short. I'm such a dork. But let's see, I'm just going to do it this way. I'm going to start right here. And we're going to do this. Nobody's going to know that that's upside down. There we go. And then we're going to do this. And then we're going to do, what are we going to do? Let's do a red one. And do this green one here. Let's see, this one didn't get quite in the center, so let me use the other side. Yeah, that's better. Okay. And I don't know what the hell I was thinking, because this isn't long enough either. Holy Hannah, I tell ya. There. That will work. Nobody'll know. Okay, so I'm just going to cut . You always kind of cut a little bit beyond when you can. Now going down, I can't. I want to get it just right and run my scissors back up. But going up, I can go a little beyond, and then I can easily get my scissors in where I want them to be. Okay, I'm just going to cut right along this. There. There we go. We made it work, and nobody is going to notice. I don't think I'll have anything that small, but I will still be able to use that. So that goes off to the side. Okay, where's my bits and pieces here now? So, when I glue this down, I want this glued down and sticking that way. Really cute. I want more of it sticking out. I can butt it right up to it. I don't like that as much. I think I'm going to kind of find a happy medium. Yeah, I think I like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put glue, because then it could be used as a tuck spot, and I can do a couple of little tags for journaling on this side. But I'm going to get this right there. I think I'm gonna like that, and then this will be pretty much just like that. And then this will be a tuck spot. Yes, I like that. And here I'm not worried if the glue is coming out. And I'm not squishing it though, because I don't want it to come out this way too much. I am going to give it a moment to dry. And then I'm going to put this onto this without going into the score line. Yes, that looks quite nice. Make sure we're not moving it. And I thought I felt that move. That is quite nice. Keep your area free of glue, which is a really hard thing for me to do. I'm a messy crafter. I mean, I like to stay somewhat organized on my table, but as far as glue on my fingers, and you know, I'll use Tim Holtz stuff, and next thing I know, I've got black smudged everywhere. In fact, I did forget to do this page. I might have to, I haven't inked this since last night. So. There we go. All right. So there. Doesn't that look really cool with that little bit? It's almost like a candy cane. That little tip though did not get glued down very well. And I also here want to make sure that none of this red shows. Okay, but I'm gonna have to get my little tip and put some glue down in here because this did not catch. I'm getting so low with this. I've got to order some more. But I tell you, if you want to invest in something that's going to make your life a little easier, this glue is nice. It's nice glue. It gives you a little bit of wriggle room, but then when it catches, and you can move on to the next next thing. And then with the fine tip, it just allows you to get that glue in to these little tiny spaces. I love the little edge. I don't know if you can see it. Just that little edge from the, looks like almost a green candy cane. Get this off. Clean, clean, clean. Stay clean. All right. So now I'm going to look at all of my stuff, and I'm going to want to put a brad in here. So let's see. We've got there's the center. Slide this down a little bit, because this is a big brad and I want it to be able to be I need to slide this over some more, slide this down some more. Put it this way so that you have some space. I don't want it off the edge of the paper. So right about here. So if you see what I'm doing, this is center on my ruler, and this is center right down the middle of the thing where I want it to be going into. And I usually try and poke a couple little holes in there. And if you don't have a centering ruler, eyeball it. I am not good at eyeballing either. Okay, so next thing I'm going to have to do is figure out how I'm going to hide these prongs. Get them nice and flat. There we go. Okay, so that's cute. And the magnet, let's see which side. Okay, so the magnet can actually go to the inside of this page. And we've got that, and it'll be getting glued down. Okay, so there's that. So nothing very thick here. Now this is number 2, page number 2. But we can do multiple pictures on this page number 2. We can also give them a couple of these things to slide in to this area. You can make little tags off of whatever cut-aparts you might have with the collection that you're working on. I've got stickers that I can use to cover up this right here, but yet it still won't really have a issue with. And since I've got these here, I'm wondering if I use one of these. Huh. I wonder if this one would work.